Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Balboa Show, baby. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 things we want in All Elite Wrestling video game AEW. I know it's too early to think about, but I'm thinking about it anyway. And before we get started, WWE 2K Studios are actually fed up with WWE 2K franchise as well, due to the fact where they are saying they have no competition. So an All Elite Wrestling video game will bring that competition. And in fact, a lot of you probably already know this, we've talked about it on the channel, WWE 2K themselves are creating a brand new game to have internal competition within their WWE 2K franchise. Now this is most likely going to be a WWE game, so don't expect an All Elite Wrestling game from them, but we will be doing a top 10 video for that game as well, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. So the first thing we want in an All Elite Wrestling video game is Ring of Honor and New Japan roster members. I think that would be a great way for these companies to implement their rosters into a big budget wrestling video game. Now Cody is a big video game fan, and so is freaking Kenny Omega. So it will make perfect sense for them to be all down for an idea. I mean, I'm almost guaranteeing there will be an All Elite Wrestling game within the next 2 or 3 years. But they are, I could bet my freaking left ass cheek that they will be making an All Elite Wrestling game very soon, and Cody and Kenny are going to be the frontliners to building that game. Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling roster members will be great. The relationship is there. Jon Moxley is in the G1 Supercard. Chris Jericho just main evented Dominion. I mean, the relationship is very solid. Ring of Honor, they helped Cody to build All In with their producers and all that kind of good stuff. So they have a solid relationship with Cody Rhodes. There's no heat. There's no rivalry. Of course, it's a business. They've got competition. But All Elite Wrestling is already up there. So having Ring of Honor and New Japan promote their brands to a high budget wrestling video game will be great for not only their own brands, but to actually build towards that All Elite Wrestling roster. Now I'm thinking this could be DLC, and we can have a Ring of Honor roster DLC roster pack, and a New Japan Pro Wrestling roster pack. And for the main game, we can just showcase All Elite Wrestling stars as well as OWE stars, or Oriental Wrestling Entertainment, is it? But yeah, that would be so cool, and it would just really add depth to the roster. And at number 2, GM mode. Now this will be so cool. So freaking cool. I know it's overthinking right now, but I just had this thought right now. What about if we had Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling and OWE and All Elite Wrestling, and instead of having like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, we could basically choose New Japan Pro Wrestling or Ring of Honor, any of the companies, let's say Ring of Honor for example, and use their roster. It depends how much roster members they provide, but we can basically try to make Ring of Honor the biggest brand ever, or New Japan Pro Wrestling ever, and we get ratings and all this kind of good stuff. Or we can just have AEW mode, like a promoter mode, and have like internal rivalries and that kind of good stuff as well. But some way to implement a GM mode to give it invaluable replayable value is going to be insane. Was that a mix of words? But anyway, GM mode will be insane. It will give it a replayable value. It will make this game insane. And on this channel, we are going to be playing all the old GM modes. That's right, all the old GM modes and season mode for the past WWE games. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be awesome. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. At number 3, we want a brand new engine. Now, any engine they use is going to be new because they haven't had a video game yet, but hopefully they stay away from anything that resembles the current WWE 2K engine. NBA 2K engine will be insane. Use Unreal technology. Use I think is it Unity? I think Unity's got a really great graphical engine as well. Just use something that will really make these games so graphically insane. Even if it's like a 2D old school game, which is actually point number 4, going back old school or having old school mini games within matches. I think that would be another great addition to this All Elite Wrestling game. Now let's just go back to point number 3, new engine. Yeah, give us a new engine. Any engine you use is good, just use a good engine. Now let's hop back to point number 4, going back old school. So having within in-game matches, having like a little mini game. I know we have it in WWE mini game where you have like that kind of chain wrestling, but having like the old school, like back in SVR the first SVR 2005, where you can have like a chop mini game and all that kind of stuff. Inferno matches, all these kind of different modes would be just so cool to have. And if they can implement brand new mini games for, let's just give an example, like smashing your head onto the announcer table and just stuff like that, having a barbed wire match and just trying to duck and then actually hitting the guy with the barbed wire and then actually internally start digging those barbed wires into the guy's head or arm or skull. All that kind of stuff, make it just really gruesome and gory, will be insane. And you know, these ratings of video games should be 18 anyway, so it would be cool to add that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a professional wrestling video game out there that has a sword in it. I think you've seen it on that Macho Tease, Tony the Pizza Guy's channel, which is pretty good. You can go check that out as well. At number 5, create a finisher. I want to see create a finisher in All Elite Wrestling. I mean, basically just give us all the stuff that WWE have taken out and implement it into the All Elite Wrestling game. It will get a lot of fans back to your game. It will get a new audience into your game, and it would just make this game so customizable and fun, and that's all we want. So to create a finisher, give us a lot of options, allow us to edit current moves, and just make it allow us to update current moves by using create a finisher, and it would just make it a lot more fresh and a lot more customizable to your own gaming experience. Point number 6, Creation Suite. Now WWE actually have done a very good job with Creation Suite, although they should really allow us to transfer all of this year's creations towards next year's 2K20. I think that would be a great implementation for WWE, but we're talking about All Elite Wrestling here. So add Creation Suite and allow us to import creative finishers, creative shows, allow us to download other people's stories, story modes, allow us to download other people's attires, have attires as a separate function, have all this kind of stuff, allow us to just really share our creations in a way that's just so free and not restrictive. I think that's the best way to go with this, and it would just be a great addition to automatically in your first game have a creation suite and allow us to just transfer to the next game or whatever game you make next. And I think that would be cool to just share championships and all that kind of stuff. Basically, WWE have really done a good job with this, and I just want to see it in an All Elite Wrestling game as well. Now at number 7, I want to see at least a 2 years gap between every All Elite Wrestling game that comes out. Reason why is because if you look at typical sports games like FIFA and especially WWE, I mean, might as well go with WWE because we're talking about professional wrestling. Having a game out every single year, there's not much improvement, I would say, towards the next year's game. There is little bits here and there. You'll see a big head mode appear, and it's just so disappointing what we had with WWE 2K19. I guess we're all just praying that WWE 2K20 comes with so much more innovation. If not innovation, just bring back all the old stuff that you've taken out of every WWE freaking game before and just give it back to us for WWE 2K20. Now a 2 years gap between All Elite Wrestling video games will give them time to add more features, to really take their time, to really take out all the glitches, smooth everything out, and just make it such a great experience to play. And it would also build up that kind of hype, so you know that now we have to wait 2 years. But if you've got GM mode, if you've got all these old school features, if you've got old school mini games, if we've got Creation Suite with brand new depth and all that kind of stuff, if we get updated rosters every couple 3-4 months, if you get brand new stars, if you get Ring of Honor stars, NJPW stars, and then you make another deal and we've got even more NJPW stars and all that kind of good stuff, to really keep this game up to date, will allow us to have a really great replayable value where we can just keep playing and it won't get old after 3 months. And I think that's a very important thing to state, that we want this to be replayable, and all these features will really make it help to make this game up to date and fresh and be playable for the ages, man. At number 9, I want more than just 3 DLC packs. I want constant updates. I want Ring of Honor, I've said this in point number 1, but I want Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I want brand new All Elite Wrestling roster members. I want updated roster members. You don't have to really restrict yourselves to just giving us 3 DLC packs for the next 3 or 4 months and then that's it, no more updates. I really want updates. I really want this game to continue to be playable for more than 3 months, and I just think that 3 DLC packs very close together is a very bad way to go, especially if you do end up having 2 years gap. Then I think constant updates, constant DLC would really keep this game up to date and fresh. And at number 10, I want more interaction within moves. When in a Luther's press, I want to be able to strike my opponent by moving the left and right analog stick to do left and right punches, or even pressing square to hit the punch my opponent in the face. When choke slamming, I want to be able to lift the right stick up to lift my opponent up and then put him down by holding the analog stick downwards. I want to be able to really get a feel to what these moves have within a controller. And screw it, I'm giving 2 more points here. At number 11, I want an online mode with no lag. Now, I know the PlayStation Now, Google Stadia, all the Xbox Project Cloud, Bethesda, Orion, all these services are now trying to eliminate online lag within streaming, but these should already be eliminated within these games already. Because this is not streaming, this is actually online mode play. This is connecting to a LAN server and all that kind of stuff. So really with WWE games, I just played it yesterday or 2 days ago just to have a feel. Did WWE 2K19 actually eliminate it? Because I haven't actually played it yet, the online mode yet, and it didn't. It was friggin' lagging. So not only for All Elite Wrestling, I want it to be eliminated for 2K20, but I doubt it. So I'm going to go ahead and give all hopes to All Elite Wrestling to eliminate online lag. And at number 12, I want a story mode for the All Elite Wrestling video game. A season mode, if you will. A 24/7 mode. I just want something with voice acting from these All Elite Wrestling roster members. I think that would be such an awesome thing to do, and to have an open world backstage like the NBA 2K franchise. I think that's a great way to go, and signing contracts and all that kind of stuff. I really want them to implement all this kind of stuff into the All Elite Wrestling game. I know it's a lot of stuff, but you know what, you've got time, 2-3 years even. Just make this game. Now I know Cody's a fan of like these old school N64 games, and it's not mind-blowing if he ended up actually making games for these old systems. People are still doing it. People are making N64 games, Sega Genesis games, I think, even in 2019. So imagine if All Elite Wrestling just flipped the switch and say, you know what, let's make an N64 game. But why not make both? Could that be point number 13? I don't know. I'll let you decide in the comment section below. Leave your suggestions in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, because next we're talking about WWE 2K's new IP, and we're going to talk about what we really want in that game as well. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit post notifications, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I really want to hear what your guys' suggestions are. I really love to hear your suggestions about everything. So yeah, be sure to leave like, I'm going to say that too many times now. I'll just say peace out and God bless every single one of you, and I hope to see you on the next rendition of the Balboa Show, baby.